Kings and Queens, your majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well, and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated and appreciated. So the 17th coup against Ibrahim Traore. Yeah, you know, there have been attempts on this man's life right from when he took up the mantle of leadership of Burkina Faso. Now it's like, okay, this is how he took it, so other people also want to take it as well. Yeah, there are people who want to be the leader of Burkina Faso. Now, what interest do those people have, and who are those who are backing those people? Who are those who are funding those people? Now, I've been talking about the Sahel here. If you have been following me, you know that we've had intensive discussions about the Sahel. How, I think we followed the story from when the coup started. As last year, 2 years ago, when the coup started in the Sahel, the change that started coming in, the fear in the minds of people, the fear was that how sure are we that this present coup is not the same with the coup of the past, of maybe the 60s, 70s, 80s, because some who say military regimes are always tough. But when you ask the Burkinabes at this point, you ask the Malians at this point, you ask the Nigerians at this point, they will tell you that they are enjoying their military regime compared to the civilian rule that they had. Now, a lot has happened after Ibrahim Traore took over, like I said, and to think of it that this is the 17th coup against this man's life. The question I have for those his enemies, are they not tired? You are targeting someone, you are hunting someone, and the person is not dying. The person is not dying. You are the one that always get caught at the end. You're the one that always fall into the trap at the end, and you keep trying. Do they think at all? I don't know. Do they have advisors? Someone would tell them, okay, I think it's time. This time we have to let this guy go, because you have been targeting someone's life, not once, not twice, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, 17 times, Your Majesties. And it has not clicked in your head that this one at this point is a no-go area. This is untouchable. The ancestors are fully behind this guy. No matter what we do, it will not work until his time of service is over. These are the kind of persons that no matter what you do to them, it will not work until when their time, the time that they have to do their work is over and they want to return. That is when what you plan in your heart will come to pass. But many of these enemies of Ibrahim Traore do not want to listen, and it's like they always want to, you know, keep wasting their resources to coups that would never come to pass against Ibrahim Traore. Let's listen to the news and then we'll take it up from there.
And shifting focus now to West Africa, Burkina Faso's military government says it has foiled a fresh coup attempt led by a former army official. The junta says that several people have been arrested in connection with the plot trying to destabilize the country. The junta has blamed a former high-ranking military official, Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, for leading the plot. Now, Damiba has taken charge as Burkina Faso's interim president after ousting the democratically elected leader in a coup in 2022. But in less than a year, he was himself overthrown in another coup, which was led by the current military chief, Ibrahim Traore. Now, Traore said that he ousted Damiba due to his inability to deal with a worsening armed insurgency in the country. After taking charge, Traore dissolved the transitional government and suspended the constitution. But Traore has faced coup attempts in the past as well. He has reportedly survived multiple assassination attempts, and his rival, Damiba, has been linked to those attacks. As per reports, there is also a growing discontent among Traore's troops, as many of them are losing lives in the continued battle against insurgents. Even though Traore took charge with a promise to curb the insurgency, analysts say that extremism has grown under his rule. Burkina Faso, along with junta neighbors Mali and Niger, are struggling to contain the rebel groups and terrorists with links to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State. They have strengthened their ties by forming an alliance and withdrawing from the regional bloc ECOWAS. Under Traore's military rule, the landlocked West African country has turned its back on former colonial power France and other Western allies. Instead, he has forged ties with Russia and countries like Iran and Turkey. He, along with his regional partners, have kicked out the Western troops, countering the terrorism in the region, while Russian instructors are now training and fighting along with their armies in an attempt to root out extremism. Experts have raised doubts and expressed concerns over Russia's ability to counter insurgency in the region. This is due to the rising attacks by Islamist terrorists, including Al-Qaeda. Just last month, Russia's Wagner troops faced their biggest loss yet in West Africa. As per reports, the number of violent events involving jihadist groups in the region had almost doubled since 2021. And Burkina Faso is worst affected of all, with fatalities rising by 68% this year. Will Traore be able to fulfill his promise of curbing violence with the help of his partners? Or is another coup waiting Burkina Faso?
Monday, September 30th, marked exactly 2 years since Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso came to power through a military coup. Throughout that period, a lot has happened in the West African nation of 24 million people. And by a lot here, we mean the economy, politics, and international relations, just to mention a few. But before we look at the issues case by case, let us briefly recount how 36-year-old Captain Traore found himself occupying the highest office. Between January and September 2022, Burkina Faso was under the rule of another military officer, Paul-Henri Damiba. Damiba himself had overthrown President Roch Kabore in January, citing public dissatisfaction with insecurity in the country. After ruling for 8 months, Damiba was also ousted over the same concerns on September 30th, 2022. That incident resulted in the then 34-year-old Traore ascending to power, making him one of the youngest leaders globally. But how has he fared? He has managed to establish Burkina Faso's first state-owned bank, nationalized at least 2 gold mines, and grown the country's economy by 3.6% in 2023, which was his first full year in charge. He has also formed a new alliance with Burkina Faso's neighbors, Mali and Niger, which are also under military leadership. Traore has also led Burkina Faso into cutting ties with former colonial ruler France. On the flip side, Traore's administration continues to face a major challenge of containing insurgency. Burkina Faso's transitional government also has strained relations with neighbors Benin and Côte d'Ivoire. Captain Traore recently alleged the two countries were coordinating with France to destabilize Burkina Faso, an allegation that both Benin and Côte d'Ivoire strongly rejected. The transitional president's critics also say he has strategically delayed a return to civilian rule, but the government says insecurity renders elections unachievable. Traore has also pulled his country out of the West African regional bloc, ECOWAS, saying Burkina Faso felt its interests were not being championed by ECOWAS. The transitional president has instead joined hands with Mali and Niger to form the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, which recently unveiled a common passport to facilitate the movement of its citizens within the new bloc. There are over 70 million people in the three nations. In 2023, insurgent attacks in Burkina Faso caused nearly 8,000 deaths. According to the Africa Center for Strategic Studies, that number accounted for 67% of insurgency-related deaths in the Sahel region that year. Data also shows that more than 2 million people are internally displaced in Burkina Faso. Due to the insecurity challenge, Burkina Faso announced in July that it was extending the transitional government's tenure by 5 years. That means the current administration's mandate ends in July 2029. But even with the mentioned challenges, Burkina Faso's economy grew by 3.6% in 2023, while inflation slowed from 14.1% in 2022 2022 to 0.7% in 2023. The African Development Bank says in its report there was improved food supply and more tax revenue collected in Burkina Faso last year.
Your Majesties, you have heard that. The unfortunate thing is that we have a mainstream media who are interested in trying to scare people out of the Sahel. Of course, like I said in some videos, there are efforts put in place by these governments or these bodies that were asked to leave the Sahel. There are efforts put in place by these people to destabilize the Sahel up until this point. Because there are attempts in the Sahel that Ibrahim Traore and all the other leaders of the Sahel believes that it's either the French government or the American government who are behind it. They have evidence that proves that it is these bodies that are behind it. But what is in the mainstream media is, oh, is this the Islamic terrorist group? They are the Al-Qaeda group. Who are those funding these people? Remember when the issue of what do you call them? Boko Haram in Nigeria was a heated one. It was discovered that the French government had a hand in supplying weapons to these people. How can an organized body who claim that they are out there moving from one poor African country to the other to help them are behind the supplying of weapons to terrorist groups? These are the questions that started running the minds of people. There have been instances, there have been everything pointing to the West that they are practically involved in the destruction of Africa. But a lot of us Africans do not want to see who these people are for what they are, because they have used religion to tie us down. Because in one part they claim they are coming by religion, or they are supporting you, they are giving you help, they are showing you the way to heaven. And then you feel like these people they are not capable of doing the evil that people are accusing them of. With evidences, people are still refusing to believe that France and America are still doing all they can to destabilize the Sahel and destroy the regime of Ibrahim Traore. 17 good coup attempts on one man. One young man that we might say, okay, he do not even have the strength to fight these people. 17 attempt coup on his life. Is it not enough? Are you not tired yet that you are hunting a man like this and he is still rising up stronger?
Burkina Faso military head of state, Captain Ibrahim, might be the best president in Africa. Let me explain. In a recent development in Burkina Faso, the Burkina Faso just released their new international passport where they've removed the ECOWAS logo from it. According to Burkina Faso President Ibrahim, they do not want to have anything to do with ECOWAS again. As we know, Burkina Faso recently collected or took over their mining grants from those who had it before, which I cannot mention their name here. For some reason, you know why. So now Burkina Faso is now in charge of all their mining factories, and Burkina Faso has now commenced production, and that is why they launched their new international passport, which they've excluded ECOWAS from it. Burkina Faso military head of state, Captain Ibrahim, recently had a meeting with all his ministers where he warned them very well that they are not here to enjoy or ride SUV or probably eat on a gold table, that they are here to help the people of Burkina Faso. He reminded them that there are a lot of people in Burkina Faso that cannot eat 3 square meals a day. He also reminded them that there are people in Burkina Faso who are dying of hunger. He also reminded them that there are some people in Burkina Faso who are still suffering from insecurity, that is their job and not to ride SUVs or probably enjoy on a golden table. Remember, one of the first things that Burkina Faso president did when he came to power was to buy tractors for farmers and not buy SUV for himself or probably increase his salary. Remember, he's still earning the salary he was earning as a captain in the army. That is the salary he still maintained and has not increased it or buy any SUV for himself. He's only interested in increasing the country's, which is Burkina Faso's economy. And that is why I say that Burkina Faso's president might be the best president in Africa. Anyway, let's keep our finger crossed and watch what comes out of Burkina Faso in the next few years, because it's a journey that the Burkina Faso people are seeing the result ahead, not a journey that you are seeing nothing.
The prayer I have for the Sahel and Ibrahim Traore is that they come out of this and shame the devil. Yes, because at this point we should know who the devil is. All right? We should know. Because right now, they are not really happy that they have kicked them all out. Okay? They've tried everything, gone through other countries to make friends with them and use them to invade this little country. Are we not shameless? Anyway, I felt like showing this to you. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always, Majesties. Bye for now.